we really weren't even officially dating yet. But I remember calling her at work, and she would answer the phone and she would say, hello, kind of in that tone. I mean, a low, unenergetic, acceptable, but not enthusiastic voice. But it also seemed like the immediate cadence response when I would say, hey, it's me, was, oh, like just complete deflation. And I remember one time I was driving probably 75 miles away. It was in the day of the cell phone. Remember the cell phone that came in a bag? And you had to carry the bag because that was the battery. And it had the same receiver like at your house, and it had the curly cord. Yeah, I drove a truck at the time, and I had one of those. And I would pick it up and call her at work from 65 miles away, and we would chat briefly. And I remember the day that we had the conversation, and I said to her, you know, you work in a place where the people who call you, they're kind of down and out already. They're kind of without hope, and they really need you to be energetic, to be loving, to be almost syrupy sweet, even if you have to fake it just a little bit. Then I'll never forget her response. She said to me over the phone, which means I know she was at work, sitting at her desk, surrounded by her coworkers. She said to me, I don't have to change. And then she hung up on me. And I don't think we talked for a couple of days. And I realized at that point two things, which might be important to you. Number one, my pressuring her to do differently wasn't leadership. It wasn't influence. It was pressure. It was just pressure. If there's someone in your life that's pressuring you to make drastic changes in your character, in your demeanor, in your personality, maybe you should consider them, but you should also understand they're probably not the best leader at this point in life. But the second thing was also true, and that was the need for change wasn't questionable. The want for change was in question. I want you to ask yourself, are you in a place in life where change is inevitable? It's going to happen. Something's got to give. Where you're at right now isn't going to work. You can't stay here. You've got to do something different. You've got to become something different. You've got to grow up a little bit. You've got to apply some skills you haven't used in a while, or learn some skills you simply don't know. See, the reason I have this library back here, all of these things, here we go. Rich God, Poor God. Who knew, right? Some of these I haven't read at all, but Can America Survive? Financial Excellence. The list goes on. Why? Because I'm a constant learner. I always want to improve the skills that I have. I want to broaden the knowledge base that I have. I want to be better than I was yesterday. You may have a career in sales, and you may think, I'm a great communicator. I'm sure you are, especially if you're a successful salesperson. But is there any chance that you could be 10% better, 20% better? What if you looked at your gross sales last year and bumped the needle 5%? Would that matter at all? If you sold $1 million last year, that's $50,000 improvement. For most companies, that's significant. Now, if you only sold $1,000 last year, that's $50, and, well, that'll buy you lunch and a bus pass to another job. If communication skills can improve your sales, if communication skills can improve your leadership, if communication skills can improve your relationships, would you invest $100 to be better than you are, even if it's only by 5%? What if, though, you could learn to communicate in a way that it moved the needle 20% or 25%? What if you learned something about taking the soap opera that is your life and extracting from that soap opera incidences, moments in time? I mean, how long do you think that phone call took? 30, 35 seconds, maybe? But here we are nearly 25 years later, still talking about the evidence of the necessity of change. and the quality of leadership. I sure hope my communication skills and my leadership skills have grown over the last 25 years. I know her communication skills have. I married that crazy woman. September will be 23 years. And we have shared a lot of stories together. Some of those stories, like her cancer battle, are long stories. But all of them have a moment in time where everything changed. A moment in time where a small decision made all the difference in the world. And you have those same moments in your life. In fact, you have those same moments in your life that are sales hooks that allow you to connect with a potential client who's going to hear you say a certain thing about a friend or a family, an experience that you've lived through, and say, that's the person I want on my side. That's the person I want in my corner. That's who I want to buy from. And I want to challenge you if that's the case. There's a link below. It goes to transformingstories2017.eventbrite.com. Write that down. transformingstories2017.eventbrite.com. You can find your tickets there. Until August 31st, those tickets are only $97. After that, they're $297. It includes brunch at CrossRoads Diner with Chef Tom Fleming. If you listen to talk radio at all, you've heard his voice 1,000 times. We would love you to join us. From 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., we will be teaching the storytelling workshop. We're going to talk about the psychology of story, how to avoid accidental cognitive dissonance. We're going to talk about the selection of your story, which incidences from your life will resonate with the crowd that you're standing in front of at the moment. How do you connect with that one individual? Not the audience of 1,000, but the one on the 4th row back and the 3rd seat in. If that's your whale, how do you connect with them? How do you close the deal with that one? We're also going to talk about how you put the story together, what goes in what order, what's important to emphasize, and what should you intentionally leave out. Now, I know that the story this morning may or may not resonate with everyone who's listening. You may have never been told you're going to have to change until now. Because if where you're at is brilliance, if where you're at is all of that in a bag of chips, if you're already accomplishing everything in life you've set out to, you're dead. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. But if there's 1 ounce of improvement from where you are, if there's one little chance to change for the better, just ask yourself, could it be that being a better storyteller, being a more effective communicator, could that be the 5% bump that I need in my life? I think for $100, you'll find it's an incredible investment. I hope to see you September the 9th at 8 a.m. at CrossRoads Diner. Again, transformingstories2017.eventbrite.com. I'm Loren Norris, and you've been watching Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.